When I had this idea to write this this film, I researched even more, and I discovered that there's a whole system of a process, let's call it, of seducing people and manipulating people into joining and doing and manipulating behaviors. And so I've used that as the basic structure in the film, with the chapters, you know, with the love bombing and with the belief system and the guru and the Messiah, you know, and all of that. And that actually is being used today by some of these people in getting people sucked into these kinds of organizations. And it's an amazing process. But of course, I wanted to do it in a comedic format. So that's why this mockumentary ended up being as it is.
Were there techniques that they used that you said, oh, this is going to be very funny when I get a hold of it?
Yes, yes. Love bombing. That's my favorite. That's when you first join, people just like shower you with love and attention. So yeah, the love bombing was like, oh my God, I know we can do some really, really fun stuff. And then the exercises, you know, the exercises like wrapping Chaz in saran wrap as part of his, you know, rebirth. And there's all kinds of stuff. If you watch some of these documentaries that you know, explore the actual cults, they do some really outlandish stuff there. And
well, I was going to ask you about the techniques that you used. I was going to ask Chaz, and I will, about, you know, being wrapped in saran, you know, what that felt like. I can't imagine it was comfortable. And also using shaker weights and the slide and, you know, all the different techniques and paraphernalia and props that you used. How did you come up with those?
It's thematic. So rebirth was a big thing of the teachings. So, you know, you have saran wrap, so you kind of break through the mental placenta, and you had the vagina slide, so you get reborn as you shoot out of it into the pool. You know, so it's organically connected to the story. It's not just random craziness.
I looked at Herbert as kind of the, you know, if everybody was, you know, drinking a Dixie cup of Kool-Aid, he was drinking, you know, a jug full. I mean, he was just, you know, all in, all the way, totally committed, 100% into it, just so pumped up and into, you know, the Reboot Camp experience. And so I was able to have a lot of fun with that. And yeah, the saran wrap was fun. You know, all of the exercises and things we did, you know, I think aside from being cinematically funny, they, you know, they worked as well for the project of us as actors, because they, you know, they bonded us together.
The beauty of this film is we have the script, you know, and Ivo gave me the script, and I said, Ivo, I think this movie is funnier than the script. I think there are funny moments that we don't even know about, that we won't know about until we cast this thing and see who we get.
You have some great new comedy teams.
Oh, definitely.
David Hockner and Jarul as a comedy team. just kind of, you know, you talk about the angry yoga. They bought in on that one, didn't they?
You know, we discovered this angry yoga actually exists. People practice angry yoga, and it's basically, instead of this whole, you know, Zen experience, you drink beer and you curse.
And then we have the hangry yoga where we let it out.
Mother son of a bitch.
So that's what happened. And I mean, we worked through their anger issues in the scene, and God bless these two guys for being so open and so honest. And that was the key that Ivo handed down from the top. Nobody push it, nobody get shticky, play it real. So
Ivo, Keli, Chaz, the truth plays a big part in this movie, the truth and lies. And it plays a big part in everyday life now. So Keli, for you, being the rational member of this troupe, the one who never lost sight of what the truth was, Your character really is the most frustrated and the most honest character in the movie, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, he wanted to show the mechanics of the con. I mean, he wanted to show the truth, like you said. And when he saw his brother got caught up with something else and was kind of moving away from what they set out to do, yeah, it was kind of heartbreaking for him. And somebody got in between his relationship with his best friend too, with his brother. So his world was kind of crumbling. Yeah.
And then the fact of trying to reveal the truth and not being believed, that the truth has no power. I mean, that's what really resonated with me, that when the truth loses power, as it has in our current world, that was really a message that kind of came through to me. I don't know if you intended that in the script, Ivo, did you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. The whole, it was a good intention behind this project that they do, but they did a bad thing because they deceived people. They were trying to show how easy it is to manipulate people by manipulating people. That's not a great approach.
The glue of the whole thing, of course, is Gordon.
Who would Gordon be? Who would Seymour create as the guru character? He's like, here's the list of documentaries, go watch and go see what inspires you. And I landed on the French guy in Holy Hell, who walked around when they carried the chair for him, and he walked around in this little Speedo. And I said, that's the guy. I said, we get me in a Speedo, we get me in these open shirts, with the belly hanging out like this, the sandals, like this is the guy. Thankfully, I grew up in Montreal where, I lived with that accent up until I was 18 when I went off to Emerson College.
First, Chaz, of course, you're completely taken in by him. Yeah. You're enthralled by him. And Keli, you see through him, and you see him you see his will disintegrate when Claire comes on the scene. But talk about your response to his performance.
Well, David did such a great job that it did, it was, the whole setup was so successful for this to work. And, all of us, I mean, like, David and I shared a room, all of us together in this area. And whenever David, came onto set and we were doing these exercises and he was talking about, all of these different things, the malware and the this and that, there was a strange wisdom to it that he brought, that and a command that was believable. Yeah, I mean, as out there as it was, it made sense.
So it was a fluid process, the improv was really kind of a gravy on top of the script itself, and it worked out really well.
As I look at this movie now, it's almost a piece of nostalgia for me, because having a movie with this large a cast these days just isn't possible anymore, is it?
With COVID, yeah, right now.
And that was a great party.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chaz? Did you want to add something to that?
No, it was. I mean, as far as days of shooting, that was really, it was fun. Like, most of the actors that had been working kind of day in and day out on it, we didn't have a lot to do because there were so many people that had come to that with great cameos. They kind of left us alone. So we were just, off goofing around and having fun. And then we did the end of the day, we did that last shot with that was supposed to be Keli coming back. And it was that, that one camera snaking through the whole party, which was also just really cool to shoot. And that's kind of how we ended the day. And so, that was a fun day.
I remember Chaz and I playing pool and talking Japanese food.
Yeah.
That's what I mostly remember about that day.